Welcome back, everybody. It is now time for the resume ranking. I thought I'd let it percolate for a couple of weeks just to show you the drastic changes that can happen with this model. The 66 teams that I think can still get in, I will show you here, and then I'll give you the resume ranking. But Michigan survived Maryland, so they are still one of them for you Michigan fans out there. And 7 other teams that beat Michigan were glad that they won because they gave them a data point, a good win for this week. Here we go. There are 18 conferences that have no such at-large teams. They will have to win their automatic qualifier, which means they have to win their conference championship tournament to make the NCAA tournament. Obviously, not all of these 66 teams will get in, and that's why I said it's the ones that could. From the American Conference, you have Houston, Memphis, Cincinnati, and UCF. From the A10, you have Fordham, VCU, and St. Louis. From the ACC, you have Virginia, Clemson, Miami, Duke, NC State, North Carolina, Wake Forest, Pitt, and Syracuse. In front of you is their record and their good wins, and then what I have them ranked, and I'll put it in order for you at the end. But I don't care about how many wins you have. I care about how many good wins you have and how many losses you have. Big 12. Kansas State is in. Kansas, Texas, TCU, Iowa State, Baylor, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and West Virginia all have an opportunity still to get into the tournament. The Big East, Xavier, Marquette, Connecticut, Providence, and St. John's. The Big West, UC Santa Barbara. The CAA, Charleston. And the Conference USA, FAU. In the Big Ten, Purdue, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Michigan State, Rutgers, Penn State, Illinois, Indiana, Maryland, Iowa, and Michigan and Ohio State sitting there at 11 and 8, hanging on by a thread. In the MAC, you have Kent State. In the Mountain West, you have New Mexico, San Diego State, Utah State, Boise State, and Nevada. And in the Pac-12, you have UCLA, Arizona, Arizona State, USC, and Utah. In the SEC, you have Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, Missouri, Texas A&M, Kentucky, Georgia, Arkansas. And in the WCC, Gonzaga and St. Mary's Christian. So, them are the teams that still have a shot. Here are the teams in order that have the best shot. The resume ranking. Purdue is number 1, 19 and 1. They have good wins over Marquette, West Virginia, Gonzaga, Duke, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, and Maryland. 8 good wins. Kansas has 8 good wins too, but 2 more losses than Purdue. Even though they just lost, got drubbed by TCU, this model still says they're the number 2 team. They beat Duke, NC State, Wisconsin, Missouri, Indiana, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, and Iowa State. Alabama comes in at number 3, 17 and 2. Michigan State is who they beat, and USC, Houston, Memphis, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Missouri. Arizona just came off a nice win over UCLA, 17 and 3, Cincinnati, San Diego State, Indiana, Tennessee, Arizona State, USC, and UCLA. So that top 4, 7 or more good wins and 3 or less losses. And number 5, you have Virginia, 15 and 3, Baylor, Illinois, Michigan, Syracuse, North Carolina, and Wake Forest is who they beat. Number 6 is Kansas State, 17 and 2, Nevada, West Virginia, Texas, Oklahoma State, and Kansas. The Big 12, these top 8 Big 12 teams you can put wherever. They kind of just beating each other up right now. Houston 18-2 lost, but they're still number 7. They lost to a pretty bad team too, but 18-2. Kent State, St. Mary's Christian, Virginia, UCF, and Cincinnati is who they beat. Iowa State comes in at number 8, 14-4, wins over North Carolina, St. John's, Baylor, Oklahoma, TCU, and Texas. TCU is number 9, 15-4. Iowa, Providence, Utah, Baylor, Kansas State, and Kansas. The great win versus Kansas, but Iowa State beat TCU. So, it's kind of a round robin going on there. Miami comes in at number 10, 15-4. Providence, UCF, Rutgers, NC State, Virginia, and Syracuse. Number 11 is UCLA. After their loss to Arizona, 17-3 still. They beat Maryland, Kentucky, USC, Utah, and Arizona State. 12 is Texas, 16-3. They beat Gonzaga, which is why they're one spot ahead of them, among other reasons. Oklahoma State, TCU, they beat them as well, and West Virginia. Gonzaga only has 17-4 record, but they have just as many good wins. Michigan State, Kentucky, Xavier, Kent State, and Alabama. Number 14 is Clemson, 16-4. Penn State, Wake Forest, NC State, Pitt, and Duke. So now you're getting into a little bit lower seeds here, projected seeds, as of right now. That's what this all is, resume ranking. There's no bias. Xavier, 16-4. They beat West Virginia, Cincinnati, St. John's, Connecticut, and Marquette. New Mexico comes in at 18-2 with 3 good wins. St. Mary's Christian, San Diego State, and Boise State. Rutgers is your first team that has more than 4 losses. In fact, they have 6, but they have 6 good wins. So their good wins equal out their amount of losses, and that means they just have a brutal schedule so far. But they've won half of them, Indiana, Wake Forest, Purdue, the number 1 team, Maryland, Northwestern, and Ohio State. Baylor comes in at number 18, 14-5. They beat UCLA, Gonzaga, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma. Duke, 14-5. Xavier, Ohio State, Iowa, Pitt, and Miami. And number 20, Wisconsin, 12-5. They beat USC, Marquette, Maryland, Iowa, and Penn State. Number 21 is Tennessee. They are 16-3. They beat USC, Kansas, and Maryland. Number 22 is Auburn, 16-3, but lesser wins here. Northwestern, St. Louis, and Arkansas. Charlotte, 21-1 with 1 good win, Kent State. And now here we are with teams having more losses than they do good wins. Iowa, 12-7, but they have 6 good wins. Clemson, Iowa State, Indiana, Rutgers, Michigan, and Maryland. Indiana is 13-6. They beat Xavier, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Michigan State. Illinois is 13-6, and they beat UCLA, Syracuse, Texas, Wisconsin, and Michigan State. And North Carolina comes in at number 27, 14-6. They beat Charleston, and they beat Ohio State, Michigan, Wake Forest, and NC State. Number 28 is Missouri, 14-5. They beat UCF, Illinois, Kentucky, and Arkansas. And your last 4 teams here, which would be your 8 seeds, are Marquette, 16-5, Baylor, St. John's, Connecticut, and Providence. Memphis, 15-5, beat VCU, Auburn, Texas A&M, and Cincinnati. Boise State, 15-5, beat Texas A&M, St. Louis, Utah State, and Nevada. And your final team, which is a good one, FAU is 19-1, but they have no such good wins over these 66 teams. So there you guys have it, the resume ranking, how I do it, teams that were involved in it all, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope you, if you have any differences, put it down in the comments. But if it makes sense to you, put that down there too. And remember to like the video if you haven't already. Share with others. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you if you have. And have a great day, everybody.